we will introduce quantum states as a generalization of classical probability distributions and quantum computations as a way of transforming these probability distributions. So before we get to quantum states and quantum computations, let's look at a couple of elements of classical probability theory. So let's start by looking at coin flipping. So coin flipping has two possible outcomes, heads or tails. And we associate some probability with each of these outcomes, some p0 probability with heads and p1 with tails. Now we know that all of these values, all of these pi values are non-negative. They are real numbers, and they sum up to 1. So if we express p1 from this, it's going to be 1 minus p0, and then we can plot p1 against p0. So every possible coin flip, every possible probability distribution over heads and tails is going to be somewhere on this line. This includes the unbiased coin at 1/2 probability for both of them, and all the rest of the biased coins are on this line. So let's take a look at another concept called entropy. Entropy characterizes a probability distribution, and it says something about its unpredictability. So it peaks at the unbiased coin, which is the uniform distribution. So you get all outcomes with the same probability. This is the most unpredictable case. So in this case, if we flip the coin, we have absolutely no predictive power over what's the next coin flip is going to give us. Whereas if the coin is biased either way, it has a lower complexity and it becomes easier to make probabilistic predictions about the future outcome. Now, let's take a look at a bit of the geometry of the probability distribution. So if we have a probability distribution like this, we can also write it as a vector. So we just take these probability values into a column vector, and we put a little arrow on top of the p to reflect that it's a vector. We are going to do something very, very similar in quantum states. Quantum states are also normally represented by a column vector, and they have a particular notation to reflect that it's a column vector. Now, the entries are all non-negative real values, and we also know that they are summed to 1. But this summation is actually the same as the summation of the absolute values, since we talk about non-negative numbers, which means that we normalize the p vector in the 1 norm. So this is going to be normalized to 1 in the 1 norm. This is again very important because in quantum states the normalization is going to be in a different norm. Lastly, let's take a look at how we transform probability distributions. So now we can take this stochastic vector, and we want to end up with another stochastic vector, another probability distribution. To ensure this, the transformation that we apply on this vector must fulfill certain requirements. In the case of a left stochastic matrix, which means that we apply it from the left of the vector, to the stochastic vector, this means that the columns must add up to 1. Quantum calculations will also be some kind of matrix operations which will fulfill certain mathematical properties. They are going to be unitary operations, and they will transform quantum states or quantum probabilities into other quantum states.